Wow. Wow, 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 wow. First and foremost, what a game of football, man. What a game of football. 5-4, 9 goals scored. I mean, if you're neutral in this game, even just as a fan of the game, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. 9 goals scored. Big players on both sides. Showing up, goals, bangers, golazos. This game had everything. And as a Frenchman, I'll go and say first and foremost, congratulations to Spain. Congratulations to the Spanish national team. For me, they were obviously, I wouldn't say by far, but at moments, yes, by far the better team over France. There were spells in the game where it was generally men against boys. And so for that, congratulations to the Spanish national team, because at times in that game, it was a footballing lesson. When you guys went up 5-4, it was 4-0. It was a footballing lesson that you guys were teaching us. So from Spain, as we say in French, 𝙊𝙊𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏 l'artiste. 𝙊𝙊𝙾𝘼𝙎𝙏 l'artiste. It was a really dominant performance, top to bottom. The midfield, the attack, and obviously now, and which may surprise a lot of people, Lamine Yamal, another great performance. Voila, for me, listen, don't get me wrong. I may go and say I don't think he deserves to win the Ballon d'Or, and I still stand on that. But hey, as a player, I have nothing against the guy. He is absolutely phenomenal. Of course, people are going to go and talk the post that he made before, so on and so forth. Listen, I'm still going to go and say I think it's arrogant to go and do so, because someday it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when he's not going to perform and it's going to come back on him. But until that day comes, hey man, all you can say, he talked the talk and he walked the walk. He provoked the French national team, showing a picture of that goal. At midnight, this guy should be asleep. We're going saying, yeah, this. But hey, Infinity goes, you're not happy, bang, 2 goals. 2 goals, and creates the first one for the Nico Williams with a ball into 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝙼𝘍. So, Lamine Yamal, what a player. And as I've said, and I will continue to say right now, this past month, Lamine Yamal has been the best player on the planet. Now, I don't think he should win the Ballon d'Or because he's not been the best player over the course of the year. And the team accolades and so on and so forth for Ousmane Dembélé eclipse that, and even his own teammate. But for now, I've said it before and I will continue to say it. This last month and a half, ever since that, we'll say Copa del Rey final, for me, Lamine Yamal has been the best player in the world, and I have no problem saying that. But yeah, so Lamine Yamal, 𝙊𝙊𝘾𝑼𝙎𝙏 l'artiste. 𝙊𝙊𝙾𝑼𝙎𝙏 l'artiste, great performance, 2 goals, penalty, does well to get on the second goal, even though there's some lackadaisical defending. But hey, at the end of the day, he puts the ball in the net in a big game against France. But yeah, now to get on to sort of, despite all that being said, and this is not to take away from Spain, guys, at the end of the day, okay, les gars, on se calme. It's a Nations League game. As a French National League fan, if we won this game, great. We're a Nations League final. It's another trophy we can get. If we lose it, this is in the Euros. This is in the Euros. Right? Les gars, on se calme. It's a trophy, yes, but it's not the biggest of trophies out there. And specifically going back to the Ballon d'Or, if people want to go and say that this game was going to determine Ballon d'Or, les gars, voilà. I just hope that if Spain were to lose the game, if Portugal were to win it, and Ronaldo goes and wins it, that obviously it does. You guys stay consistent, and that's it. It's a proper trophy. Because I remember a lot of people in 2019 going and saying that, oh, when Portugal won it, Ronaldo was lifting the trophy. It's a cardboard trophy. It means nothing. So hey, I just hope if you said that back then, you better be saying that now. But if you didn't say so back then, in fairness, fair play. But the Nations League certainly it's been very interesting. I think it's been better than the friendlies that we would get before. At the end of the season, makes some things a lot more spicy. All right, now to get on to the French national team and the game as a whole. Not gonna lie, I think overall the difficult thing with this is such a game of, it's not even a game of 2 halves. It's a game of it's the half of the teams were completely separate. Because on the one hand, offensively, even though, of course, France lost and they couldn't do so, I thought offensively France were good. Sure, they were a bit wasteful at times, and it could have been and probably should have been better with some of the chances we missed. But offensively, I think we created chances. I mean, then we finished with more shots, with more shots on target, 1 fewer big chance created. So offensively, we were there. Same thing for Spain. But this goes for both national teams, bro. I mean, as good as a 5-4 is, bro, oh my gosh. The defending, oh my gosh. The defending in this game was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting, filthy, trash. Oh my gosh. I mean, I go and I want to come back in here, obviously, and look at the stats quickly, because in terms of the momentum, the first couple minutes here it was pretty clear Spanish dominance. But until the 8th minute, all the way until basically they scored the goals to the 20th minute, this spell here for France, I mean, it was a wave of dominance. Dewey was getting dribbles. Kylian was getting dribbles. I think this is where he creates that shot. Dembele goes through and puts it on platform. He can't score it. I mean, France were getting chances. So in the terms of chance creation going forwards, there was no issues. There was nothing wrong. 𝙀𝙬𝙖 was okay. Dewey was doing well. Mbappe was doing well. Dembele, if you want to say the forward, probably the least, but it still puts the ball on the platter for Mbappe there. He was doing his bit. And honestly, they did their part. But then here, like, for me, the first culprits we have to go to from a French perspective here is this defense. I mean, you look overall, even for Spain, 6.4, 6.8. In fairness, Simon, I think he was absolutely excellent today. But from the French perspective, how are they out of 5 here? No. And Maignan, I would go and say probably his worst performance in a French national team shirt. By far, it's probably his worst performance. Konaté, disgusting. Lenglet, disgusting. I thought Mani Kone as well. I thought he had a bad game as well. Losing balls. 𝙀𝙀𝙖, Pierre Kalulu, absolutely filthy. I think obviously it's a Nations League game, so there's added points. But even just I'm thinking, projecting myself for the World Cup, if performances like this continue, Kalulu, Konaté, Lenglet, I don't want him anywhere the pitch for that 2026 World Cup. Nowhere near. Because of course, yes, it's Spain. It's a great attack. They're really impactful. They're really dynamic. They're really dangerous. But guys, some of the stuff, like easy runs, dropping back, not holding your line properly, absolutely disgusting. For France, the back line should be on this side, Jules Koundé, center backs, Upamecano, Saliba, and that's it. Now, Kone, maybe he could still find his way into it, but not his best performance today. Make Maignan, I mean, he's our main keeper. I'm not going to go and say we change it on him because he saved our butts in the past. But wow, today, absolute disaster class. But on the other side, going forward, Ousmane Dembele, I thought was good today. Kylian Mbappe missed a couple chances in fairness, but he was, I think, all right. Michael Olise, not his best performance. I thought Désiré Doué, I think a 6.1 was actually pretty harsh on him. I thought especially in that first 20 minutes when PSG were dominating, he was definitely the biggest bright spot for PSG. I mean, for the French national team. But yeah, overall, I'll go and say that attacking wise, I thought it was a great performance from PSG. I mean, from the French national team, and there's going to be a lot of positives to go and take from that. Now, again, as I've said, it's just the defensive aspect of typically, and that's the thing though, typically France have been really super defensive, ultra defensive, really keeping a low block, etc., so on and so forth. And defensively, it's been our strength. I mean, in even that Euros, you could have said everything about the team and whatnot, but defensively, we were there, we were sound. We didn't concede any chances. We wouldn't score. Even that Spain game that they went on to win, apart from their 2 goals they didn't have really much more beyond that. But today, that was completely flipped. I go and say probably a lot of that is to the fact that basically 3 or 4 center backs aren't there, but that's not an excuse. Teams at the end of the season, everyone has injuries. So for me, it's just France. I don't know, the tactics, we're tacticking. And also, it also just goes to see, for me, the difference between this and watching from like just a couple of days ago, watching PSG in the Champions League final and this France is the press. And I'm sorry, it's like, even you have Désiré Doué, you have Dembele, 2 of the 3 for the front men for the French national team, 2 of the 3 who started in that Champions League final. And this time they couldn't press. And it's not because maybe there's some fatigue and so on and so forth, but I think it's just, there's no tactics. I don't think, and Mbappe is not really willing to press already, but there's no tactics. They don't know what to do, how to initiate anything. And in fairness, it's national team football. It's difficult to, get patterns of play rhythms, how to press, etc., so on and so forth. But the effort wasn't even there. But one person I need to highlight specifically from the French perspective is, oh my goodness, Ryan Cherki, mais quel talent. Ryan Cherki, the guy who nearly wasn't even selected in this French 11. A goal and an assist and a key pass for the 3rd goal. This guy's involved in 3 goals, basically almost directly if you want. Ryan Cherki, 8.2. If this guy had started the game, les gars, Ryan Cherki vient au PSG. Ryan Cherki come to PSG. PSG, forget this Mastanton or whatever. Ryan Cherki, go hijack that City deal. 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝘼𝙎𝑎𝑐 qui tu es un génie, 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝘼 qui tu es, qui tu penses être, et Didier Deschamps. Voilà, you took him now. All's well that ends well. And yeah, better late than never. Man, how this guy was not in the French setup before then is beyond me. He comes onto the game. Bang, bang, scores a brilliant goal. First ever performance, first ever game for the French national team. Goal and an assist, and puts a wonderful, just sumptuous through ball for Malo Gusto. Oh my goodness, 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏. What a performance. I mean, that's why I'm going saying this game overall. You think 𝙎𝙊 on the other side, 𝙎𝙊 with an absolute, just another great performance. And people go and say, oh, you have any 𝙎𝙊? I don't have any 𝙎𝙊 agenda. I thought 𝙎𝙊 was absolutely great today. I just have an issue with people pushing. I'll get onto that later on here. But you go and you look, 90 minutes, 2 goals, scores the penalty, creates the penalty. So it's not even like, oh, he just took, no, he creates the penalty with a great run. Goes, it's 100% a penalty. There's no debate on it. I thought the other one also for Pedro Porro was also a penalty. There's no debates. The refereeing was fine, although maybe at the end there, Michael Oliver should have given more time, but was good. Today has what? I don't think dribbling, wasn't his best performance dribbling wise. 2 out of 3 successful dribbles, but like today he had a good performance. For me, even though for me, this performance against France, I would probably say is probably better than the Inter one because there's more end product. And at the end of the day, yes, all the dribbling, so on and so forth. But today he was efficient. He didn't do too much. He didn't try to play hero ball all the time. When he needs to dribble, he dribbled. When he didn't need to, he didn't. So that's what I'm saying. Lamine Yamal, 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏, and his deserving of his, for me, man of the match, and has been the best player, as I said previously, for the best month and a half. But now, to get on to probably what most people want to talk about, the Ballon d'Or. The Ballon d'Or is the Ballon d'Or. Is it back on, etc. So forth, guys, are we the Nations League? The Nations League is, of course, it's a FIFA tournament, so on and so forth. But guys, people were not gassing this game up. Before Lamine Yamal had his performances, guys, of course, it's France-Spain. It was a big game, so on and so forth. But nobody was putting gas on this game. No, it's all of a sudden just because now, Ballon d'Or, this and the other. It's a win for Spain. Congratulations. Spain go on to win it. Yes, perhaps it probably keeps them higher, so on and so forth. But this game and this tie alone does not decide the Ballon d'Or. And if you think that that's the case, guys, what? If things have been swapped around, if Barcelona had been the team that had gone and won it, and Lamine Yamal had scored, gotten 2 assists in that Champions League final, and Dembele this time around did this, are we going and saying that Dembele should win the Ballon d'Or? No. So, just be consistent. I don't think this should have any bearings really on the Ballon d'Or. We'll see. It's of course it's not. I'm not saying it's just some friendly and whatnot. Obviously, it's more than just a friendly. But guys, the Ballon d'Or. I agree with what Lamine Yamal said previously. He said that should this game decide the Ballon d'Or? He said no. For him, it should be the best player over the course of the year. Now, who he said he was really, if you want to go and say, quite foxy with it, and said that I'll keep that one to myself. But I agree with him. I think it should be the best player over the course of the entire year. And I think for me, as good as Yamal has been for the entire year, I don't think he's been the best footballer in the world. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. I'd be curious to know what you guys think in terms of the game. If you guys were a neutral, if you guys support Spain, France, whoever you were, what you guys think of the game. I think as a neutral, I think it's pretty good. It was a great game. The defending, though, was really poor. And what I will say also, one final bit is that even though France obviously came back to make it 5-4, I think there's a lot of, if you guys understand the PSG Aston Villa game in the Champions League, where in that first, PSG went 2 up, at one point we're 5-1 on aggregate, like in this game. I think it's just that Spain stopped playing really, and basically let France get back into the game. I don't think there was also an aspect of France were good and created chances, so on and so forth, and put Spain on the back foot, but I think Spain thought that, okay, we're 5-1 up, 4-0 up. At some point, there's no way that they come back. And it's more so a product of that rather than it being that, France was absolutely stellar and whatnot and so on and so forth. So yeah, Spain deserved winners, beat France. Now it's 2 times in a row now. The thing is, even from Didier Deschamps, I don't think there's much more he can do. I know typically when France lost, last time I was really angry. This time around, he put a starting 11 based on, who's available and so on. He put the four attackers. Coaching wise, in terms of the squad selection, at least it was there. Now the tactics, there's still things to be said there. But for me, Didier Deschamps is not the culprit. For me, primarily the culprit for this game from the French perspective has to be the defense. It was just non-existent on both sides, in fairness. Yeah, that's it. That's all. Thank you guys very much for listening to this video. I need to get back to preparing for my presentation, and I look forward to seeing you guys again. But remember, stay safe, stay kind, and stay blessed. Godspeed.